Malcolm still hadn't found his trade, but he was working night and day to find anything that might do. Sears seems like a natural fit because if anything, Sears understood the Japanese market and what they could do and couldn't do. You've done quite well for yourself. Sears continued, his gloved hands gripping the safety bar on the chair lift a little too tightly, even under the wing of that veritable snake Carney. Everyone in Morgan was talking about you, Hans and Win. 20 million, was it? Malcolm clicked his rented skies together. Droplets of melted snow trickled down from the tips, disappearing into the mob below. Something like that, Malcolm said, if the number meant nothing. But it wasn't all mine. Carney had a hand in it. Carney has hand in everything. I don't know if I ever told you, Malcolm, but Carney and I once worked together a long time ago when I first came over from London. He was a great trader and an awful human being, and he always had things going on the side. The numbers have to do with your company funding sources. Rich Japanese businessmen trying to capitalize on the fact that American hedge funds can get away with crap and Japanese banks cannot, such as shorting Japanese companies or foreclosing on loans. Malcolm raised his eyebrows. It was an odd and interesting thought. Yakuza-type interest investing money in a hedge fund trying to foreclose on the Yakuza interest. If Sears was right, Carney firm was a middleman in potential term war. Malcolm wondered if he had ever known the true story. He knew that Carney wouldn't be the one to tell him. After leaving his trash apartment, he'd gone right to the Sakura hostess bar. He pulled Saya outside and told her everything. About the threats Carrie had received, about the BMW had hit him, about Carney's response. Saya had taken it full quietly. Her body seemed to relax for the first time in months. Not because the situation had changed itself, but because Malcolm was beginning to see the picture. She had walked him a few feet away from the Sakura in case anyone involved her with her father could be listening. Then she had leaned close. I can talk to my father. I can see if he can help. Malcolm was shaking his head vigorously. He didn't want her to get involved. And he only meant her father a few times when he had come to pick up Saya. The man hadn't caused any problem in their relationship. He had never seemed particularly pleased by the idea of Gaijin courting his daughter. It won't be necessary. I'm going to figure a way out for both of us. The exit point still evaded Malcolm, but somehow he felt inside that if he didn't fight, it was going to fight him. He had no idea that it would find him a ninja's high slope in a form of simple comment from his former boss. Anyway, Stars remarked, and the chairlift swung back. Forcing manufacturer's cold breeze, 20 million on a single trade in something like Nick Leeson would have been quite impressed by. Pacific Century Cyberworks getting added to the hand count index, a private placement of shares to the tracker fund from Richard T. Beautiful. Makes you wonder with all high-tech companies spring into the news these days would have happened if the Nikkei decided to do the same. There are 10, maybe 15 companies like Pacific Century Cyberworks in Tokyo that I can think of, and just as many old monsters from bubble days that the index could stand to lose. Sears turned to watch a spin against a tiny mogul. Malcolm stared at him, his breast coming in old smoky bursts. His mind was suddenly on fire. The Hankan has added a $35 billion high-tech company to its index, and Malcolm had $20 million on that deal. Sears was right. There were 50 major tech and computer-based companies in Japan with market value of nearly $500,000 that weren't at any real index, because they were new and the Nikkei had so far refused to admit them into the old boys club of major companies. 15 beasts that could have been easily end up on Nikkei. Malcolm leaned back against the chair. He could no longer feel the weight of his keys. Репетитор по скайпу, Smart Teacher 197.